she's live from Los Angeles. She's following the trial. Her name is Erin Jacobs, and she has a website called Justice4MJ. Erin, thank you so much for stopping by. We really do appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Hey, I'm kind of shocked that there's a lot of people out there, and I know that you're out there supporting Michael Jackson, and we're big Mike Jackson fans. I'm really surprised to see that there's people out there, though, with shirts and holding signs supporting Dr. Conrad Murray. Who are these idiots?
Well, actually, they're people that Dr. Murray personally knows. I spoke with one of them on Tuesday, and he's actually Murray's personal trainer. It's a campaign that Murray has funded. They've got all their professionally printed signs, and he has asked these few people who are brave enough to stand out on a curb to come out and support him on his dime, of course.
So when you are asking for justice for Michael Jackson, does that equal a manslaughter or guilty verdict for Conrad Murray? Is that what you're seeking?
Well, I have to tell you that Justice4MJ was created in February of 2010, just days after District Attorney Steve Cooley filed these ridiculous involuntary manslaughter charges. We were outraged. We thought that this case showed plenty of implied malice, and so we started campaigning with for Jerry Brown and also for Steve Cooley to change the charges, which at every corner they would not cooperate with us.
So do you want a murder charge? Is that what you're seeking?
We want a second-degree murder charge, absolutely. Accidental death is not what happened in this case. This is a doctor who knowingly went in and did what he did every single night.
So what would you say to I'll play devil's advocate for a minute, because the defense is saying, hey, Mike Jackson was basically an addict, and he was going to another doctor without telling Conrad Murray all the drugs that he was on.
Here's what I'd say to that. Irrelevant.
So because
Judge Pastor said in his rulings in the pretrial different hearings that I attended and also in the preliminary that they were going to base this on the toxicology reports and the autopsy reports. No drugs were found in Michael Jackson's system other than that were placed there by Dr. Murray himself.
And so his assumption, or their assertion from the defense, saying Michael Jackson took 8 sleeping pills, that was enough to put 6 people to sleep, without telling Dr. Murray that he did that without authorization. Is that irrelevant too?
It's nonsense. I mean, we all know what defense attorneys' jobs are, and that's to throw out everything and anything, and hopefully they find a juror that's just crazy enough to believe it. I mean, it's ridiculous. Michael Jackson had a crude IV in his calf. He had a condom catheter on his penis. He had been given 7 benzodiazepines prior to the propofol. You guys heard the video the other day.
Yeah, we did.
He was incoherent. He couldn't even speak, but you think this man had the wherewithal to play this possum game that the defense is going to allege, and then get up and take these pills, and then, I don't know, they haven't decided whether it's going to be orally or injected yet, give himself propofol to kill himself? Ridiculous.
Do you think that Michael Jackson was addicted to drugs?
I don't think that's relevant. I wasn't there. Michael Jackson fans, we don't talk about hearsay. We only go off the facts, and none of us, including myself, were his doctor, or were we in the room with him. So I don't really have an opinion about that.
Erin Jacobs has been kind enough to join us here on the Rod and Don Show in Seattle. Justice for MJ, just put that in your Google machine, and you'll find out so much more. Erin, this is what I'm really interested in as far as Dr. Conrad Murray goes, because a lot of people say he was a great cardiologist, and I was watching Piers Morgan last night, and they card out all these people that say, oh, he saved my life, he saved my life. Initially, here's a guy that wanted $5 million. They settled on $150,000 a month. Evidently, Michael really wanted this doctor. He was crying in court saying that he's a friend of Michael Jackson. Do you think he killed him on purpose, or do you think it was an accident? Because at the end of the day, Dr. Conrad Murray was making $150,000 a month from Michael Jackson. So wasn't MJ kind of his meal ticket?
Well, we never have ever said that this was a first-degree murder charge, although Nancy Grace is screaming and crying that it is. We've always contended that this was just implied malice and gross negligence, that, of course, he didn't go in with the intention to kill Michael Jackson, but because of his carelessness and his neglect and his ignoring the standard of medicine, he killed Michael. I mean, look, he gave He gave him a drug nightly for 6 weeks, and we know 4 gallons of propofol were ordered. And he gave this drug knowingly without any monitoring equipment. We heard today in testimony that the pulsometer was put on Michael Jackson's finger as he laid on the ground after 911 had already been called. He had absolutely no equipment inside of that house or that bedroom to resuscitate Michael Jackson when and if he went into cardiac arrest, which he did. And the man just basically didn't know what he was doing. He says he's a cardiologist. He's not even a board-certified cardiologist. I'm sure there's a lot of people in this country that have been treated by Dr. Murray that didn't have a lot of money and they didn't have any better options. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay, Erin, the only part that I think that you're very passionate and you make a lot of good points. The only part that I'm hung up on is that it appears to me, from the testimony I've heard so far, that Michael wanted the propofol, and that Michael sought out this doctor, and that he had such problems sleeping that he was the one going after the medication. It wasn't like the insurance company or the promoters or anybody else were saying, Mike, you need to take these drugs. He was the one seeking them out, and they hired these doctors to try to sort of wean him off of it a little bit.
I don't think that they knew that Michael was being given the propofol, first of all. And so what if Michael Jackson asked for propofol? I could go into my doctor's and ask for a lot of things also. But do they have a responsibility as my doctor and a caregiver to do what's in my best interest and say no? Absolutely. I'm sure there would have been 5 other doctors that would have told Michael Jackson, no, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, but you know as well as I do, Erin, a superstar like him, and same with Elvis, you're going to, sooner or later, you'll find a doctor that's enamored with the fame, and they'll give you the prescription.
Great. And this doctor is going to spend 4 years in jail and lose his license. I hope it was worth it. He killed Michael Jackson. Live with it.
Well, you're an MJ. Ron's not really an MJ fan. I'm a huge MJ fan.
I know all about Ron.
Yeah. Ron's on the fence. I'm an MJ fan. You're an MJ fan. I want to play something for you because this is storming the internet right now. It's in huge bad taste, and we're starting to see a lot of this stuff appear. And as a Michael Jackson fan, MJ for Justice. Again, we want or Justice for MJ. I'm sorry. Everybody put that in their Google machine so you can find out more about Erin. But let me play this for you. This is getting a lot of hits right now on the World Wide Web. And this is kind of sad to me that this is what MJ has turned into.
If you thought the Jackson family was done making money off Michael, think again. Get ready for the long-awaited release of Michael's final album, featuring never-before-heard tracks like Is a Manina Manu. Yes, Michael's mumbling phone conversation with Dr. Conrad Murray wasn't a cry for help. It's another money-making opportunity for the Jackson family. Buy now and get this special bonus track. Uva Miami. Rolling Stone magazine calls it a work of art. Entertainment Weekly declares it a masterpiece. And Michael Jackson himself says, get your copy today.
All right, Erin, what do you have to say about that? That's been played on morning shows all over America. It's in super bad taste. And I'm just wondering, is that the way Michael Jackson is going to be remembered, as a punchline to a joke?
Well, personally, I find that so extremely distasteful and disgusting. I have to laugh. And no, absolutely not. Michael Jackson accomplished more than any recording artist that ever lived. He sold more records than any recording artist that ever lived. Until his death, he had donated more money to charities than any artist that ever lived. He holds the Guinness Book of World Records, I still believe, for being the most charitable artist. Michael Jackson will be remembered for his kindness, his humility, his music, his dance, his humanitarian works, his love of children. And you know what? All these people that want to say negative things about Michael Jackson, knock yourselves out. He's gone. Yeah. He's dead. You can't hurt him anymore. You can hurt his children, and if you have so little disregard for 3 young children that have done nothing, then feel free to laugh and play that on the morning shows or whatever it is that these people do. But we're here to protect Michael Jackson's legacy. We will never let people forget what a wonderful human being he is and what a loss this world suffered when he died at the hands of Conrad Murray.
Yeah. Erin Jacobs from Justice for MJ, will you be there all 5 or 6 weeks at this trial?
Oh my goodness, absolutely. We can't be there every day because there's jobs and families and
Sure.
kids and everything, but we have members that are going to be there every day. We've been in the community fighting, for Michael's legacy.
Sure.
I would love it if you guys could email me the link that came from, because we'll get it removed by tomorrow.
Okay, and also, as the trial continues, as we get closer to the verdict, we would love to get your reaction to this too.
Oh my gosh, if I can stop screaming and hollering from joy when that verdict comes back with a guilty verdict, I'd be happy to come back.
Yeah, Dr. Conrad Murray did not have a good day today. That's all I can say about that.
Well, Dr. Conrad Murray hasn't had a good day in 3 days.
Yeah.
In fact, I kind of suggested that he even fire his defense team because they're so horrible, and people are literally falling asleep in the courtroom during cross-examination. It is... I don't even see what the point is. They just do these ridiculous cross-examinations. The defense is killing it. 1, 2, 3. They ask the jury to listen to the scientific evidence. Well, they just ask the jury to find their client guilty.
Yeah, you're right. Erin Jacobs, thank you so much for stopping by. Again, if you want to track Justice for MJ, just put that in your Google machine. Their website will come up, and man, I can't wait to get her reaction either way. And we all. What's interesting about this is we all thought the Casey Anthony verdict was in the bag. We all thought the OJ verdict was in the bag, and now everybody thinks that Dr. Conrad Murray. That the verdict is in the bag, and it's going to be very, very interesting.
My only point of contention